creeps, putting caustic on them, creating those explosions. But if Razor can properly position himself around the wave, and just like imagine just if you get a single kill in that lane, the stance you could take as someone like Razor, just denying stanking any sort of proximity to the creep wave, could be rather devastating here. And this should really open up maybe the offlane or two for old Jonas, and they're going to get rid of his axe. The most classic of the Jonas heroes would have been very nice against someone like a Lifestealer who's trying to toggle and wiggle his way around the fights, as well as an AoE stun there for the Sand King. So similarly, the OD, as we mentioned, too good with Mirana, too easy to set up for a gank, not only from Mirana, but if Sand King does have a ref time, OD again is one of the best enablers of your low-level offlaner to come and actually get a kill mid. So wise maneuver there, I would say, from Alliance. And what's our last?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. Enigma. Radiant team pick.
Definitely overlooked here. He did. He got ripped. Yeah, he hit the gym pretty hard. Just the demonic conversion is sick for offlaners. I mean, helps pull the lane back. You can control it. And Enigma has always been a nice standby combination with Io Tiny. Yeah, he can build up a mech. Io can go in towards an urn, or even Io can just still go for the mech if he has a good enough start, and then that allows Enigma to go into something towards like that blink, or eventually getting into a BKB, which currently they don't have anything up against, which is huge for an Enigma. It's so value once you get into that like 30-minute mark, or I guess like 25 too if you're playing in this core role. So yeah, I really like this. He could run into some trouble if he ends up using some jungling with a Mirana roaming around Disruptor 2. They could definitely get all up in his grill, but pretty big fan here. And once you see a big wombo combo Enigma, you see a Razor, this Io Tiny. Sniper seems pretty tempting. Scary. If you get comboed by Tiny, you're just dead. But other than that, with proper spacing, Sniper can really obliterate in a fight like this.
5 seconds remaining.
I gotta get my little vocal cords ready for some black action going on. It's always a little Enigma games. Glad that he's making a comeback. And, you know, in the same time, you got yourself a Rubik here. There's not a ton of great spells to steal, but with Burrow Strike and Starstorm Arrow, that type of thing, feels like it could be a pretty hype little match. And this early movement out, Ake again going to place down a couple of wards. We'll see what the sort of purpose behind these is. Both times it's been just to that off lane that we've seen from Horde. Either one of those.
Yeah, and like in this situation, I guess that last time that was... Yeah, they placed it down on the Darkseer, right? So just that same idea of like keeping an eye on Jonas and abusing the jungle. Like as an Enigma, if the lane does get out of control, he can't really come up and contest. So he just has to go back to the jungle and make something happen that way. So... GG, good.
GM.
Oh wow, look at that horse face. Suns fan will be proud.
Oh, and he's got the Rubik thing. Oh my god, this is the staff that I wanted so badly. I love the Rubik's Cube staff, and then like the golden one, it's so good.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even know there was one.
Do you have a favorite cosmetic in the game?
In the whole game?
Yeah. The whole Dota 2.
I don't know. I'd have to like look at my heroes, dude. That's kind of tough. The Cthulhu mask for Faceless Void.
Okay.
That one makes me ruffle. I thought that was like the funniest shit ever when it came out. So I will go with that.
I like Rubik's eyes in this. He's like giving a little face inside of there. But enough of that. We got Dota 2 that's going to go on. Incidentally, I'll just say that mine is the Kunkka pipe, which is pretty great. But yeah, EGM has himself a ward. This should be scouted. I think that was within range. No, he's just outside of the range there, so couldn't see the placement of that ward there. What do you think about that spot? I haven't seen that placed a ton.
Not too shabby. It gets the job done. You know, it's harkens back to old Roche Pit. Like, it used to be that little ward right there, so I guess just keeping that one going. Better vision for the dire side, keeping an eye on this rune, spotting them coming in to interfere. Same idea as last game when you had the ward right here, just watching them rotating in. So just a nice little safeguard here for Jonas.
The battle begins.
Well, Pablo spotting out Loda. EGM is going to be here as well. Oh, gets the lift off, and well, E-skill fortunately not able to pick himself up a bounty rune, so that is going to be 2 for 2 apiece. An arrow, nice little sidestep there. Burrow Strike still going to connect. They aren't going to be able to find this kill, I don't think. They have a shrine as well, and now stealing damage. Pablo in some trouble. He already skilled up arrow. He's going to be able to get the body block on Ezekiel. He's taking a ton of damage here. Well, and the lift back is he gets cliffed. Oh no! All right, Burrow Strike to the low ground, trying to escape. I think these should be good here though. Arrow's going to connect onto Loda, and he will miss the first couple creeps from that.
Jeez, guys, throwing everything at each other right early.
Oh.
Oh, this is going to be a fun mid lane to watch, by the way.
Well, Excalibur, maybe in some trouble, is going to get slowed down. Already throws out the shrapnel.
All right, we're good.
And
maybe Excalibur's going to see that courier. Spooky.
Action-packed stuff to start this off, and already feeling quite good about it. Do you kind of feel like this enigma? Do we see many movements in to try and disrupt this at all? It feels like Mirana's stuck up top a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't see Ake doing anything either. I think Ake's levels are super important. He needs to be like killing these camps so that he's gonna have enough points and glimpse to do something mid. Because once Tiny's like level 4, times will be very scary, I would say, for Excalibur. He can just get ran at, avalanche, tossed back to the IO, have a couple spirits coming out, and it'll just be like dead Excalibur every time. So someone's gonna need to go there mid. Mirana does not have the kit to do anything about something like that, so it's pretty much gonna have to be Ake, and that means he can't just be like level 1 disruptor at 4 minutes or something.
Yeah. Oh, and
yeah.
I guess they also need to make sure that Isco has a good game here. They need the Sand King to get a Blink Dagger online and ensuring the Mirana's there so he doesn't just get pulled against constantly. I guess this just means they're going to have to deal with Enigma.
And Ake, he roams up here, maybe seeing like, oh, maybe I can like steal this bounty rune from him, but not going to find anything.
Oh, mid lane again, Excalibur caught at. They have the slow, they have the damage. It might be enough, and it looks like this is going to be first blood. Oh. Well, Fairy Fire, maybe? Toss the IO? All right, they got him. Lifts it up.
Yeah, Hanskin really waiting there. I think he was trying not to steal the kill, but he realized that there was a Fairy Fire, and then he was like, oh shit. Now we're in a little bit of trouble, but they get him.
Oh, pull back in. EGM is here as well. Hanskin in some trouble. They get the lift, trying to keep him alive, but not going to end up happening. They do manage to find one. Limp's still very low here. It's going to have to way out, and Excalibur not close enough to find the kill onto that Tiny.
That was a really nice sidestep from Limp. That was scary. That arrow angle was really nice. He had to like jump on top of that Alliance flag to stay alive there. And top lane as well. He's still just getting bullied. Loda's like, get the hell out of my lane, dude. I'm a Razor. Very frustrating offlaner to deal with.
And I guess that the other problem here is that if you Burrow Strike into him now with E-skill, he's going to end up getting that Purge that's placed out as well. So, issues. And again, the toss back finds the kill on a Sniper in the mid lane. This is not looking so good right here at the start for Horde. Figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're talking about with Ake. I'm like, surprised that. And what are you going to do, though? If you don't have a support here? I mean, Disruptor's not even the best support for this. He's just the best one that they have. I could see it still being very difficult. Top lane, toss back skill. And it's gonna, oh, that's a nice play.
Yeah.
For a TP.
Well, he's out of there. Could have potentially TP'd. I guess the shrine is still a ways away. I don't want to click on it because that still shows up.
Yeah, they popped it right after that first gank, so.
Should be close.
Another 2 minutes.
A little ways away, yeah. Well, in the meantime, you've got Jonas who's just going to continue to farm up, picking up the Soul Ring recipe, and I mean, at level 4 already, what are we thinking as far as his first rotation out? It's just with Black Hole, right? And then maybe trying to push the lane?
Yeah, maybe just go for like a quick smoke play, see if they can set up something with just Rubik, or it could be like a toss Black Hole from Limp. Really get fancy here. Jeez, tell you, Horde have some issues, man. Pablo's 4.25. Okay, Excalibur, he was level 3. Now he's at least starting to catch up here.
Yeah. Definitely necessary for him. 4 picked up, takes out that wolf as well, and is going to be moving his way on up there. At Horde, they've got ways into this, definitely, and, you know, Alliance is ahead a little bit at this point, but I wouldn't expect this to completely stay this way throughout the rest of the game.
Dire's bottom tower.
I mean, Limp's got treads, dude. Like, Excalibur's be so cautious.
Yeah.
He's boldly moving forward here.
Those headshot procs.
This is actually so scary. Limp's pinging him like, dude, where is my IO? If like, just get over here, dude. Like,
Look at the
we can kill this
scamps.
guy.
Are you seeing this? Does he
How many
get
did
it?
he get? He got this one.
Yeah, he didn't get the big one. Well, mid lane, they're going to be going in now. Missed the arrow, unfortunately. And now the Avatos combo. Excalibur in some trouble. They're trying to keep him alive. Barely there. 18 HP. And maybe Limp now is going to be brought down because of it. Limp's back in. Can they find the kill?
Nice.
Tossed onto Excalibur. They find him. They get him. Pablo's going to drop as well. Oh, you thought you were coming for me, but you end up falling instead. Good stuff right there from Alliance. And Pablo
that's
needs
why.
Oh.
Because he didn't Q. Because I saw him get glimpsed back, and I was like, where's the Star Storm? Or where's the arrow? They were both off cooldown. So he must have been having some sort of PC issue.
That really is unfortunate. Well, give him a second to think about what ended up happening and figure out what they can do next.
Evaluate his life, you know, choices, things like that.
Meanwhile,
Well,
Razor, is there anything that you feel like is that a Horde sort of need to like do as far as movement around the map goes? Like, this is without an Enigma even really being present.
Well, I mean, good things for them. Gork's, you know, top of the net worth, despite all these kills in the mid lane. He's the one who's farming up down bottom. Got a 200 gold lead on Tiny. That's nice. But sadly, the next 3 heroes are dire. Then there's Zamrana, and then there's an Io, who's also pretty rich. So Hanskin, he will go for the earn this game. We'll see if he even ends up getting the mech or if he'll just leave it for Jonas. Jonas is actually going Midas, at least in his quick buy right now. Feeling the power of the core Enigma. The general, like, gaiety of the current first 5.5 minutes. I would be okay with not rushing mech 2.
Yeah. Particularly if you've already got the IO there for the little bit of extra sustain, then maybe in that way you can afford to run without it, with IO already picking up an earn and everything. But
Yep.
late game, are you worried at all about Alliance and sort of their ability to scale well, or do you think that they can play it towards that later game scenario?
I mean, real sniper is no LD sniper. You know, Lone Druid's a little bit better at his job, but it still is pretty scary getting into these later objectives, getting high ground with sniper up there. Shrines are there. He's very difficult to deal with. So if they don't continuously keep punishing him, maybe, you know, the late game, there could be some sort of a bounce back. There is some farm coming on to E-skill. He's not totally poverty. Like, he's no Rubik level, but for the most part, yeah, they're kind of screwed, Gabe. I'm digging here, but things aren't looking that great. I don't see a great way to accelerate the lifestealer right now. Sniper's getting dumpstered in the mid lane. Pablo, well, he just died when he probably didn't have to, but of course that could have been a PC issue, so that kind of sucks. But now the one guy who was like starting to get some levels and all of a sudden to level 5, he goes down. Everything's pretty much coming up Alliance. Alliance is back.
Alliance is back.
In the lead. For game 2.
I will say that Alliance were coming in the pretty heavy favorites in this one.
As a team, and what as individual players, you know, I know they're all very talented. You know, you guys have all seen them pubbing, doing their thing, seen them on various iterations of different squads. So it seems like that last little bit will just be like their own general strategy and trying to get some ideas going and working for them. But no, up against all these other teams, it'll probably be a continuing struggle for them and just like learning and learning as the weeks go. But they're up against like some of the best European teams in the world. So yeah, it's pretty exciting, I would say, for them. And maybe they, you know, maybe they can shine. Maybe they can figure some stuff out. For now, not looking too hot though.
If nothing else, it's certainly a really great learning experience. Excalibur, oh, again, going to get tossed back in, and with all those spirits coming, balls in his face, he is going to drop.
Did Valve implement in-game replays? Is that what that was?
I don't know.
No,
I did just see that Gore gets brought down as well.
Dude, he got black holed.
All right, well, black hole down, sniper down. Life is hard. It is hard to be a Horde member right now. Alliance is winning this day.
Damn, dude.
Maybe now? All right, they have eyes on hand
dude,
skin.
He's like, oh.
Limp? Okay.
He thought the glimpse was coming.
Oh, God. All right, there's the push away, so now no longer tethered, but that's not good.
All right, that kind of worked.
For who?
For Dire. I just like living, you know, they Liv just like ran into 3 heroes and stood there and they left, so this was good. This was a win for Alliance again. I can't believe Orc went down. That hurts, man.
Definitely. Oh, and now they're going to get another stack too. Handskin, you know what? I'm just going to say this. Last game he was playing amazingly. This game he's also been playing a really good IO. Is going to maybe almost die to neutrals there, but like
you almost jinxed that guy so hard right there.
The like triple stacks that have been going on, it's not something we've been seeing a lot this patch, but just that presence of mind to always be doing it. Really good stuff from him. Been very impressed with Handskin.
Yeah, and like just general priority on the jungle has gone down quite a bit, but still very important. I mean, if you can get those stacks, it's just a lot harder to time around your movements because it's more particular with it only being every 2 minutes now. Yeah. And all that jungling gives some space to E-Jam in the mid lane. Probably going to catch up to Sniper soon in terms of levels. No, Excalibur level 6 now, so E-Jam can't be quite as willy-nilly here. In fact, he could just get ultied and ran at by Ake.
Yeah. Problem. And well, the glimpse back. This is why Sniper is still quite a good hero. They're able to find the kill, and well, meanwhile in the jungle, Muerta actually almost goes down there, but he was able to soak up some experience, I believe, before things ended up chased her out.
And they shrined.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Well, top of the net worth right now. We got ourselves Mr. Enigma finished off the Midas. Loda's still very large and in charge. When is the point where they sort of group up and start making things happen on Alliance? Is it around the mech timing of the Enigma, I imagine?
Is Jonas even like committed to mech at this point?
Maybe not.
I'll be kind of curious. I mean, pretty damn good item, but you know, I would certainly want him against Disruptor. I'm just not sure how farmed Hanskin's going to end up being. But
right.
We shall see. In terms of their timing, though, I think they're just like tiny. Just buy Blink Dagger, be the big one. Limp's doing his standard kind of like bracers, and if I get rich enough, I just go right for Blink, or if things happen, I just go drums instead. Seems like this game he's eyeing up the Blink Dagger. Maybe if he's going to die, he might like buy into a drums or something like that, but...
No.
I'm a big fan of just the Blink. There's a very, very squishy heroes on Horde. I don't think this is a game where you need to go like drums, agonyms, and rely on your IO for mobility. You don't need the additional damage. I mean, if you get on top of Sniper, he's just dead. So.
Well, that's another question. As far as like drums are concerned, do you think that that's still an item on Tiny in general? It's definitely gotten a lot of changes recently.
I'm sure it's still fine. It's probably, you know, this guy knows Tiny the best. I don't know if this bracer, maybe it's just a casual bracer and he'll probably never end up going for the drums again. Kind of a weird kind of hybrid build here, but...
I mean, a lot of them, they get a bunch of kills in lane.
Saber you need, you know, you gotta get all those cool new items. Excalibur will find EGM.
Excalibur, there's a couple hits. They have the glimpse back as well onto Jonas, but Loda is here. They need to be careful. Excalibur stealing away damage from him. He's in some trouble. They have the relocate gank as well, and well, now everybody rotating in. They have several of these heroes under tower. They toss the Tiny to kill off Ake, able to get off the static storm, but he's actually pulled back and away. What a great decision right there, and Limp's gonna get away scot-free as well.
Just send him on in. All right, well, 2 for 1. And that's still a win for the Radiant. Interesting.
Yeah. I guess Enigma, being the most farmed hero in the game, makes a pretty big difference.
And maybe EGM too? Yeah, it's still level 4. There's no steal escape here.
Well,
all right, that works.
EGM is running at them. He is angry. He has the Fade Bolt as well. Skill might just end up going down.
Yeah,
Urn Charges is going to be enough. Oh, man. And Pablo trying to run away. That does not feel good.
Gork. The detection.
I mean, they also have a black hole immediately canceled, so a little bit interesting there, but they end up finding the kill regardless.
Yeah, I guess they were just at the detection, so they're just like, all right, it's black hole, where he's going to be, and then he just died anyway, so.
Yeah.
Whatever, doesn't matter, totally fine. And now he is also, Jonas is queuing up that blink. Just like, who needs a mech? There's a lame item. Blink on Tiny, blink on Enigma. Let's get some black holes going.
Love to see. Alliance feeling very large and in charge at this point. You take a look at Sniper, it's just, this is a tough game for him. Phase boots, 2 bands of Elven Skin, and Aquila. And just kind of left out to dry in that mid lane there. Alright, but maybe there's an opportunity here. They have people in the area. Lifestealer and Fest Bomb. Limp is there as well. They find the kill. That's a big one going back their way for 4 heroes being a part of it.
Yeah, now into the tower. Get Sniper. Okay, alright. We're bouncing back. Horde's looking okay. Gork's got his armlet. Maybe they can string together a couple more kills and just get right back into this one. I mean, it's a 4K lead for Alliance. Kind of scary at this point in the game, but certainly not a unwinnable situation here for Horde. They got to keep that up. Like, this pressure needs to keep going, or they're just gonna get mega out-farmed, at least over the next little while here from the Dire.
They have the tower very low right now. No black hole up and online. Jonas in some trouble as well. Hanskin does have relocate away, but Assassinate comes in and they find that kill now.
They can glimpse Limp.
Yeah, it glimpsed away. They do manage to take down the Lifestealer though, in spite of the glimpse away. So, but unfortunate there for Horde.
Yeah, that was a bit too bad, but you know, Tiny gets the damage out too fast for you to really do anything about it. And Gork needing that escape route. Oh, where's this relocate going? Wow.
Going in with it. Want to try and find it. Limp is on top of the Sniper, bringing him very low and is going to end up dying. Pablo still there as well, but Hanskin takes down Ezekiel.
What a player, dude.
This is absurd.
Just dives the range of the tier 3.
All right, Hanskin is playing a fabulous game. Fabulous series.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Wow. Well, what a change from last game, too, where he played, like, Mega Poverty Venge. Had, I think, Brown Boots Windlay's Gem or something near the end of that game.
Yeah.
Like, he just was not getting anything going, just allowing everything to flow to the rest of his team. And then he can just switch it up right onto this IO and dive people for kills.
Well, and even in that game, he was getting things done on the Venge, like 6 swaps out and away when there was, you know, trouble coming up, but he's just making stuff happen with whatever he's given. Fairly impressed. Any talents that sort of make a big difference in this game at all for Horde coming up? Like, you got +5 to all stats for the Lifestealer. Is that enough?
Nope.
Right, fair enough.
Definitely not.
Radiant structures are
Like, slightly better than a Bracer, I guess. That's like pretty much all you're getting out of that one.
All right. Well, I can dare to dream, I guess. They do have a Moonlight Shadow now. I do believe that this was also spotted by Alliance with that Satyr Mindstealer that walked in. No blink as of yet on Sand King, about halfway to it, but Lifestealer's still chilling.
That's the biggest thing I would say, is trying to get into that Blink Dagger. Again, kind of the same problem they ran into last game. This time, though, they were just, this wasn't exactly the same sort of laning situation. This time they just got absolutely destroyed in the lanes. I guess they kind of set it up that way, so it was going to happen without someone like babysitting mid for E-skill, or rather for Scalper.
No.
But, yeah, again, they just have to keep up with this aggression. They see this. They saw the ward get placed. They know where the smoke is right now.
Oh, big plays could come in, though, if they can manage to find it. They did just TP away, too. Io is there with the relocate, though, so still not going to be safe regardless. They go for the D ward. Able to get it. Feels like this is almost a trap being laid by Alliance. Yeah.
All right, well, they'll get tier 1 mid. Pablo just kind of wanders into it. And that'll help him along his way to an Aghanim Scepter, so...
Oh, relocate. Gallagher left alone. They are going to be able to go onto Handskin right now, trying to bring him low, and this is going to be a kill coming out, I think. Maybe? Oh my god, that was really close. Mega kill streak. 469 gold for that little wisp.
Was, I guess he missed the tiny. He might have blinked or something when they weren't paying attention or something. But yeah. Limp did not come along for that party. And then I saw Limp ping himself, so no, I'm not sure as we were watching Pablo mid, but something went awry up top. So another little misstep here from Alliance, and handing something back over to the side of Horde. This kind of stuff, if it keeps happening, 500 gold away from the Blink Dagger. Sniper's getting into a Maelstrom, he'll have a little bit of damage going. Pablo, again, very important with the Aghanim Scepters. EGM steals Kinetic Field.
Well, they have the glimpse back to pull him in, but maybe used a little bit prematurely, and it's going to be EGM just walking away again. Nonetheless, you can just see the movement around the map by Alliance. Everybody's been grouped up here top for Horde for the past couple of minutes and haven't really been able to get a lot done outside of finding some kills from Alliance overstepping their bounds. So it still feels like Alliance are in firm control of this game, but they need to kind of... I don't know, how do you put the nail in the coffin in this one?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wow. A Crimson Guard from Yonason fan, I guess, will be one of the answers. Try and delay any sort of a turnaround fight from the courier. Nah, I won't have no damage. All right, they're not going to haste it. Oh, it doesn't have haste. That's still not enough. All right.
Oh. Well, the other courier might end up going down. Handskin spots it out here. He is still scouting things and right in range of glimpse, it looks like, for Ake. So the Tiny gets out, everybody gets out, Courier gets out. Make the escape.
Yeah, and Limp just farms up towards the Aghanim Scepter, so they're looking for some pretty solid control over the mid game. Should be the same idea as what we've been seeing them do. Just kind of like dodging fights, always keeping Limp very active in terms of farming with Io nearby, keeping Loda active with farming. He might end up going towards Boots of Travel on the earlier end. For now, it'll be an S and Y. But wouldn't mind seeing him going towards like kind of that Ace style build where you get those earlier bots, not only for the movement speed, but again for the whole way they're controlling this map and with the IO. Would be nice just to fully divide up all of the available gold.
Double damage.
They're just looking so solid right now. I mean, everybody from Alliance, like, they're perfectly situated. And then you've also got EGM who's rotating around, and if they happen to find somebody... Like,
this ward here too, though, it did spot it from the dire side. They saw the rotation from Gork as well as the Disruptor, but now they do see Gork go back up this way. So right now, if you're Alliance, you're just eyeing the entire side of Horde and like, when are they going to smoke? Because they have this Blink Dagger on E-skill. It's been revealed in vision, so they should be aware that they're going to look for something. And if you ever leave anyone alone, like they use these sentries here, just making sure this isn't warded, so they're going to come in for one of these smoke plays. That kind of stuff from Alliance is very important at the current moment.
Yeah. Well, and you can see just in general how much greater vision they've got of everything. I mean, they've got that ward in there. They've got wards over here by the tier 2 tower, but where the tier 1 tower was, their own damn jungle even. Like,
oh
they
no.
see everything.
Okay, they bailed out. Okay, he went for the sentry, and then the ward, he's like, maybe I should put a sentry down. Catches sentry and observer, so close one. Just knowing, like, all right, this game's been going long enough. They definitely vision their jungles, so...
And they're all grouped up again there as well, and you can see Alliance sort of reacting as if a smoke could be coming. They're kind of all backed out slightly. Another ward will be placed down by EGM. Another little unique spots out a lot of the places where farming would take place, so things there. And now maybe they might actually go for that smoke play.
Yeah, Gork just getting his echo. He needs to kill this wave though, or else it'll be way too obvious. This Dire Ward did expire, so they won't see this rotation coming through.
You still have one more up there though, and that is a smoke without the Lifestealer. We'll see if he hops inside of what should be an invisible Sand King here.
So they'll go for a bait play instead.
Okay. Oh, and Enigma is there, front and center. They spot out that Enigma is going to be farming this camp, and this would be a really big pickoff. Again, Burrow Strike going to connect. They have eyes on him. Arrow follow-up on the mark. Static Storm, the whole enchilada. They have Limp as well as Handskin. Damage is coming out. The Isle barely going to be brought down. Excalibur trying to run away. It looks like it is going to be happening as they are able to bring down Limp as well. 3 already dead for Alliance. Horde looking quite strong in that rotation.
Yo, Ake, God, dude. At Static
man.
Storm. It kind of went down at the same time as the relocates. It's a little bit hard to tell, but
yeah.
Either way, he sniped it. Got him inside, completely killed that fight for Alliance. That's going to be a huge gold swing with the Radiant side. I really hope I get a fight recap, but I did not get one.
I got one over here. It ends up being about 2,900 gold and around 4,000 experience. A lot of damage dealt by that sniper in that one.
Yeah, he was just back there pecking away, and then once he actually got into trouble, Gork just came in, and Lifestealer just, you know, he eviscerates Tiny as long as he has the rage up. You know, that Crag ain't gonna do shit.
Well, meanwhile, over here to the side as well, Handskin caught out again, and Horde, these last couple of minutes, we talked about the vision advantage that Alliance had. They've been able to deward a couple of things, and now we're starting to take back over control of this map.
Yeah, that one big smoke play just so necessary. They never could have dreamed they would have got those 3 heroes too. Like, just god tier Static Storms. I mean, honestly, sometimes that kind of stuff can just win you a game. Not quite out of the woods yet, but they have decimated the lead that was there for Alliance. The thing is, they still did have some pretty big items up. The Crimson Guard, of course, wasn't able to save them, but he's now moving in towards a pipe, so he's going to have that double sort of defensive mechanism through pipes and crimsons, working through both of the damage types coming out from Horde. And we have the Aghanim Scepter from Limp, so he'll be skyrocketing up as he builds into a Manta style. He kind of, not one I've seen in the recent times for the Tiny.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I guess that was like the old school for split pushing, as far as like relocating into the tier 3s and, you know, just beating them down. Do you think that that's still as good with all of the nerfs to illusion damage that have been dealt? Ours, or is this for something else?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a little bit weaker than it would have been. No, it's interesting. I mean, other combat items would be like AC. We often see the Echo Saber has made a pretty big resurgence on Tiny, but with the really early Aghanim, sometimes you'll see people shy away from the Echo because they don't want to get their slots filled up, just because you do get rich pretty fast. Even just like actually holding a Moon Shard, whereas, you know, most heroes, of course, buying it and immediately consuming in the later stages of the game. Sometimes on Tiny, that mid-game Moon Shard could just do so much work. So
yeah.
He's already switched over into the AC. I'm pretty glad to see that. I think that makes a lot more sense. But
I really like
maybe
this
just
movement
trying
now too.
Purge open wounds, but
you see that there was over here Mirana able to cut the creep wave, so there's still like a really long time before this creep wave gets to the tier 2 tower, and so this gives Horde so much more room to like spread out around the map, farm if they want to, and they can even potentially like. They're probably not going to get into range for a trade, but it feels like they're allowing more time for themselves to get online.
Well, right now, Alliance, this is kind of scary as a Tiny. Just Limp, he can't actually see the Disruptor right now. Lucky for him, Ake is not nearby, so there's not actually any concern. His whole team's there to back him up too with the relocate save just in case. And this is going to start to look very familiar to last game when Alliance did that whole closing out of all the objectives. They just went from like tower to tower, eliminate them all, get the shrines, get Roche, those kind of things all in their mind right now. And it's going to be more difficult to disrupt from Horde. Remember, we had a very fragmented fight last time where we initiated on Jonas. If they don't start off on him and he can find a way to sneak himself into that engagement, get off that big black hole, it could just be a total reverse wipe compared to the last fight.
So last game we saw that Alliance, even though they were only like 4,000 gold ahead, had such a superior fighting style and like a team composition that they were in a better spot. This game, it feels like it's a lot closer in terms of how these team fights break out. What are like the big things we need to be looking out for? Obviously Black Hole. Oh man, actually, Big initiation here. Smoke on smoke. They're actually Moonlight Shadow though. Burrow Strike connects onto 2. Handskin's taken out at the start. They have the Static Storm. Limp not controlled in it as of yet. They do have a glimpse available now, which they can use if they want to. But it looks like Limp left alone is gonna be brought down here. They find that kill. EGM
he's going
as well.
for it.
Big black hole onto 3, but there's no damage in there at all. They can't bring him down. Burrow Strike onto Jonas. It looked pretty. It did nothing. Maybe now that Limp is back into the fray, they're gonna be able to do it. It did come with a buyback there. So they take down 2, but they had to buy back on the Tiny. Oh, sketchy stuff, and Horde come out the better. Is this going to end up evening out with Roche going their way?
It's tough. It's on the one hand, it's only 540 gold. Limp primes very quickly, so securing Roche is very nice to them. But at the same time, this whole game has just been Horde trying to like close that gap, you know, as much as possible, trying to even out the scores. And now when you look at the net worth, you can see that happening. I mean, yes, top 3 are all dire, but right behind them, that Tricore of Radiant are not far behind whatsoever. I mean, less than 1,000 gold. I guess like 2,000 now up on Jonas, but it's I would still call this, the way things are going right now, definitely favorable for Horde. Considering the start they had, I mean, pretty remarkable. Another great engagement, another great Static Storm. Didn't catch anyone inside, but it completely split that fight.
Ake showing up for his old team, putting in work, and that was without an Epicenter too. So you now have Epicenter and Static Storm with no buyback on Tiny available. If I'm Alliance right now, I'd start to be sweating a little bit.
Yeah, I would be pretty concerned as well. Let's see. Atos would be the next thing here. Okay, so wondering how they want to maybe beef up their team fight here. Like, the Static Storm is doing a lot of work, but they don't really have the best options for it. Perhaps Loda could head into a BKB next, but he does have that Boots Travel now. And Tiny, not always the best hero on buying the BKB. You kind of feel like it doesn't do enough work for you. Compared to some of his other items and how much it costs, but it might be a necessity here.
Well, they smoked back up again now and trying to... the problem is also they're not super farming. Like, they're kind of just looking to take fights, which it feels like, you know, was good when they were ahead, but now maybe a little bit scarier, particularly considering that, you know, Black Hole, I guess now it's going to be off cooldown again, so they can try and go for another engagement.
At least they still have the objective advantage here with the Tiny on the squad. Lunch just beats it down. Now only the tier 2 mid before they can start focusing in on those shrines. And having that Aegis is allowing them to do this. Difficult for Horde to want to fight into this. Everything is back up though. They could try another smoke into a Moonlight Shadow.
Alright, well, Jonas, he's got all of these survivability items for his team. Limp is getting into larger and larger AC amounts. Gold for that AC. I guess that the other thing that's coming up here is just like with the magical damage that they have on their side, the pipe ends up giving them so much more value out of the Enigma here.
Yeah, Pablo finally getting to the Aghanim Scepter, and you're just like, oh, wow, that's a pipe over there. So here we go again. The big plays.
Oh. Yeah, they ping out exactly where all of Alliance is. They drop a ward down. It's going to be immediately dewarded.
The hardest part right now for Horde is saying this isn't a good fight, don't go. And wisely they do not. It hurts when you use Moonlight Shadow like that, but they did not find that right angle. Alliance had obviously read the play, and they were able to back away. So nicely done, not fighting to the Aegis in a really bad time.
Yeah. Well, they are going to be moving out now with the smoke, and if they could find Limp and Hanskin here, this would be pretty good for them. Or anybody, honestly. Scan.
Is a great conductor.
Guess right. Hanskin is going to be there, the one that they run into, and Gil... Oh! They realize the smoke broke. There's the jump away, and they're not going to end up going for it. That would have been a big moment right there.
That is probably their last smoke. Maybe they have one more in the shop. They do. Okay, they got at least... Oh, well, I'm not even sure if the new shop lets us know. I think it does. I just see a open smoke. So maybe it does. Guess it's kind of hard to tell the new patch. I know it used to, obviously, it used to tell us when smokes were left, but now it doesn't have like a count next to it.
That's a good point. All right, guys, get on it. You know what to do. It's Reddit
Yeah, that's
thread
right.
time.
Get spectators. Gotta see smoke counts. I would guess it means they have one left, but no one's buying one, so now I'm not too sure. But
They have one on EGM, at least for Alliance, and doesn't look like they have one yet for Horde.
oh yeah, the Alliance one looks the same. Shop's dead. Oh, it's over. Oh great, can't tell smokes anymore. No. So assuming Horde are out, this is where it gets a little bit tougher. AC's up on Tiny. We will be losing our Aegis in just a moment here, about 30 more seconds.
Hmm.
So
I
won't
mean,
be enough time to get mid at least.
like, so the Roche get for them after that sort of rough team fight, even though they ended up getting a couple of, you know, follow-up kills. Are Alliance still in a position without the Aegis where they feel like they can fight, or is this something where kind of need to take a little bit of a back foot since you've already got like all of these big ticket items up now for Horde?
I think they're at a point where they're happy continuing everything in this area. I think without Aegis, they don't want to go into the tower. I think that gives an opportunity again for Horde. That was something Alliance did a very nice job of avoiding the last game, and it should be the same idea here. I don't think they want to go high ground unless they find some sort of a like big wipe scenario. For now, it should continuously be using the Boots of Travel and Loda. He's farming jungle. You know, you've got Jonas Fan. He's just TPing down to the shrine. He's farming jungle too. You've got Io and Tiny always together, ready to engage, but also still being efficient around the map, which is something you know they can't do on the side of Horde.
Yeah.
They just simply don't have that same mobility to get into a favorable engagement at a moment's notice like you do. So you abuse that heavily, you just outfarm them, you wait till the next Aegis before you want to head into the tier 2, or you wait until you spot some sort of scenario that Horde gives you where you can just do a relocate gank.
Yeah, and it's back to almost the same lead that it was previously for Alliance, just based off of that farming efficiency. That being said, they
that
have
was close.
spotted out Limp.
That ward. I'm not sure if it heard something or...
Well, they're still chasing. I feels like Limp and Hanskin realize that something is going on, though. They are very much out of there.
Oh, it did. It saw the Moonlight Shadow. Okay, yeah. Because I thought they smoked, but they just straight up Moonlight Shadowed, so...
Very efficient movement right now from Alliance, and it's all you can really ask for them.
Yeah, immediate gem picked up by Pablo. He's like, okay, we got to deal with these wards. So sadly, he won't find this one as it has now dissipated.
They should be able to get these, though, and these are probably the more important wards, the ones that are in positions where they'll spot you coming out of your base. So I'd imagine that those get taken down pretty soon. And with that, I mean, already their vision is not terrible. They've got these couple of wards, one in the mid lane, one up towards the dire jungle. So if they can shut down Alliance's vision, that suddenly gives them a lot of map control back.
Yeah, it also worries just, that general threat of relocate. One thing that is kind of going for Horde is just the fact that Jonas still doesn't have a mobility item. His build is super defensive, and it makes it very difficult when you actually move into an engagement in a fight. But they haven't really had too many of those. I mean, how many big fights have we had? Like, a Horde were super down, and then we had, one big fight, Stack Storm, second big fight, Stack Storm, and then third fight with just kind of chaos going on. But he hasn't had that many opportunities to use a lot of his net worth, so no Blink Dagger with Pablo.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate there. Jonas ended up finding him, and I guess that's one side. If you don't need mobility if you've got the relocate there to pick him off, but will make a difference when it's actually the team fights that come about, I guess.
Man, that's a really tough catch too. Mirana, who is Blink and Leap, but despite not having any sort of like a tracking mechanism, just able to catch him out. So, big grab there from Alliance. Sadly, no roach to capitalize on. Well, there will be, but unlikely they'll know. They have a helm from Loda. I wonder where his creep is. Maybe he'll grab one instead it is. It looks like there's a Hellbear running up top here, but might be time to start scouting out the old Roshan.
Yeah. Definitely feels like it's going to be the next big engagement, and EGM in the meantime able to place down a couple of sneaky little wards here. Gets a few down there, and I don't think that those are going to be taken.
Very sneaky. Oh, that's right. Did he hold the gem too? Or no?
I don't think he was.
No, I don't think
Sand King
he
has it.
was. All right, good. Whew. All right. Crisis averted. That would have been really bad. That would have been disaster
Is a
levels.
great conductor.
That's good. You need that. So, movement around the map again. You've got Limp, who's building back towards a moon shard now. Will be large and in charge, but the big problem that I've seen in these fights is that if Horde find the initiation as they get this D-ward, it's still pretty hard for even Tiny to get around. Like, he doesn't have a great mobility item either. So there's a lot of things to be concerned about right now for Alliance. I guess Disruptor's not getting towards an ag, so BKB piercing isn't going to happen anytime soon, but, you know, or rather shutting down BKBs.
Yeah, Horde in the fights, they've done a good job of just prioritizing the split up of Limp, or at least trying to get him inside the stack storm or away from everyone else. To say, do they have a smoke? Or no, they're just worried about some sort of aggression coming? Oh no, it's coming on the courier. Okay. So BKB now done for Jonas. Talked about during the draft how they do not have any way to cancel this. There's still no bash or anything here from Gork, so I don't think that has changed. I guess we could have a assassinate come through, but
right. There you go.
Exactly the biggest cancel of a black hole you're gonna see.
Gotta see that Aghanims. That's when we're waiting for it. Yeah, I guess that would be okay. It would take a really freaking long time though. Roshan's starting to go down. It looks like they're gonna try and attempt the tier 2 trade for this, or at least some amount of damage being dealt, and with that immediate TP in, looks like Pablo's gonna have to skedaddle out of there.
They just still never went for this tier 2. Despite all this map control, they're just not giving the opportunity, just getting gold. And it has been steadily increasing their way over the past while in terms of the overall net worth. But things haven't been a total disaster. I think for Horde, they've also done a nice job just moving around the map, taking out some wards, getting some gold for themselves, and trying to get into this next little level of items. Galber has his Ogre Club, and that has been now transformed into a BKB. So with the fight finally coming from Alliance, at least they're ready for that.
Toss on Ake. Limp's still there. He needs to be careful. They do have the glimpse away.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that hurts.
Man, Limp just read that juke so hard. Oh, actually, he had a sentry on the high ground. That's probably why. It's a good way to read a Glimmer Cape.
Absolutely. Well, and now look at this tower going to start to drop. They do have the sniper high ground, which is always a pain in the butt to deal with, as right clicks are going to come in mass. The Mjolnir going as well. This is what they needed. This is why they have that Razor here, being able to siege that high ground from a little bit afar if he needs to. Assassinate. Z-Kill does have that Beast Center Burrow Strike if they want to go in. This is so scary though with that right there. Oh,
preempting.
Push back in, Burrow Strike, gonna connect onto 2. Gorik in some trouble as well. He is gonna try to assassinate. Black Hole only onto 1, but it's more than enough. Ake actually caught it as well, not able to get down the Static Storm. Both BKBs popped at this point, and now in some trouble. Pablo is gonna have to hold this on his own. Does not manage to do quite enough damage. The Star Storm didn't even end up connecting onto Limp, so the entire mid barracks going down, and this might just be it. I don't know if they can stop this pressure. There's no buyback right now for Lifestealer.
Limp with the flashy blink.
Oh, stealing the epicenter, or stealing the assassinate back, and oh, Jonas, they just pop everything. They're running at him. Excalibur in a ton of trouble, and Skill is going to be able to walk away for the moment. That's coming out a little bit late there from Loda. Had it in his backpack, or rather his stash, but not going to go for it. And now 2 lanes of barracks gone, and it feels like they came here just to stay. They're going to finish this off.
Yeah, mercy kill. Lions just going to try and end it.
And sometimes these things happen. Burrow Strike, the epicenter, Static Storm. It's not really looking like it's going to be enough, though, and the couple of team fights went the way of Horde. Since then, it has been Alliance's game. They pull him back in, not able to keep control of that Tiny. They're just tossing the Enigma around. Why not? Too easy for Alliance.
You might not be able to credit Alliance's general like team fighting and skill usage, but their actual gameplay has been fantastic. They've not really made a mistake, few missteps. They've always been reading the movements of Horde, despite maybe a couple mix-ups, but for the most part, just the way they move around the entire map, maybe use the resources. That used to be that big thing. I guess everyone talking about TI3 Alliance. I don't know if maybe they're going back over some footage here, but